meeting. And second is a conversation about the litigation currently going on with the city of Cambridge. That's it. As I said, my expectation is that we'll be done around about 1, and at a convenient time, in an hour and a half or so, we'll take a break. So, that being said, we also, by the way, are not doing any minutes this meeting. We will do minutes for this meeting and the last meeting at our next meeting in April. So that is not on the agenda today. Mr. Executive Director, are you ready?
Hope so.
You hope so. I was hoping for something a little more definitive. I guess I'm going to just continue to hope for something more definitive.
Okay, moving right along. So I want to first introduce some new staff members of the commission.
Thank you.
As is routine, as we've welcomed new additions to our teams. There are 4 folks I want to introduce to the commission today, as well as to the public. I'll start with Sabiel Rodriguez, our legal assistant. I believe he's here somewhere. Sabiel joins our legal team as legal assistant. There, he'll manage legal materials, prepare public meeting minutes, and manage requests for public records. Prior to joining us, he was a paralegal at a law firm where he managed a large caseload of SSDI and SSI cases, along with preparing various legal documents. So Sabiel joins our legal team.
Welcome.
We also introduced this week 3 new investigators to our enforcement team. Timothy Barwise, Jacob Nielsen, and Nicole Trant. They're in the back there. Again, as I mentioned, they joined us as investigators. Timothy joins us from DCR, where he was a Forester II supervisor. There he managed the federal cooperative agreement for the Asian longhorn beetle eradication program. Jacob joins us from the Plymouth County DA's office, where he was an ADA. He's also a captain in the United States Marine Corps Reserve and serves as a judge advocate for the Victims Legal Counsel. And Nicole joins us from the State Auditor's Office, where she was a field auditor too. There she conducted audits and provided recommendations to improve government operations through accountability and operational effectiveness and efficiency. So Timothy, Jacob, and Nicole have joined us as investigators.
Welcome. Great to have you.
We are in the process of interviewing and filling a number of other roles.
Yes.
I think important context there is that now that we do occupy a larger space, we have more capacity to continue adding staff. And we are doing that, I think, in earnest. We also have a position that was posted just last night for a digital marketing director to join our communications team. So as we continue to grow, we'll continue to update the commission on that progress. But it's also nice to see that momentum in adding to our ranks.
Appreciate it. Great.
If you want data or FAQs, where do you want to go next?
Let's just go through your standard report with the data, and then we'll go to the FAQs. That's all right.
Fine by me. So this first slide is relative to applications and those that have submitted all 4 packets in the license being sought breakdown. You'll see that the majority of pending applications are those of marijuana retailer, followed by marijuana cultivator, and lastly, or third in line would be product manufacturer, but a total of 418 that are pending review. This next slide, I think, gives a higher vantage point of the overall portal. Again, you'll see that there's 418 that are pending, 464 have been withdrawn, 3,933 are incomplete or have not yet submitted to the commission, and to date, the commission has approved 309 applications and denied 4. This next slide is those licenses that have been issued, that 309 number, to break down based on license type. Again, you'll see the majority, or 127, is that of a marijuana retailer, or 98 for marijuana cultivation, and 72 for product manufacturing. Of those 309 that have been considered, this is a kind of a snapshot of where they stand through our inspectional and licensing phase. You'll see that 34 have been provisionally approved, 159 enjoy a provisional license. The difference there is a provisionally approved has not yet paid their license fee. 21 entities are in a final license phase, and 95 entities have commenced their operations.
Thanks. Let's pause. Any questions or comments?
This next slide is more of a vantage point of our application process and their status relative to priority or expedited review or general applicant. You'll see that 233 entities have identified having secured RMD priority status, 29 have identified economic empowerment priority status, 78 entities have secured expedited review. On the right-hand table, you'll see based on how the entity secured expedited review, some are just based on license type, 14 entities are included ownership that has a social equity participant. 38 have identified as a disadvantaged business enterprise, and 9 have actually identified as more than 2 or more of those categories, and 391 are general applicants.
Thank you. I think I've broken this.
This slide was at the request, I believe, at the last meeting relative to DBE status for licenses that have been approved to date. So that's the 309, and a breakdown, again, based on their DBE status. Especially early licensees, they were self-identified, so I think it's important context here. That said, you'll see that the majority, or 272 of the 309, did not identify as a DBE business. This next slide is a standard slide. Without that additional breakdown, you'll see the total of 731, 82%, or 600 of the applicants did not identify as a DBE status. For a comparison, on the last slide, it was 82.1, so you'll see the difference there. This next slide indicates a little bit more about our workflow. You'll see that applications that have been considered by the Commission are 313. There are 94 applications that are awaiting initial review. 222 applications have been reopened for additional information. 68 are awaiting a third-party response. Again, a third-party response could be a municipal certification or the third-party background check, and you have 34 applications before you today.
So that 94 number seems like it's quite a bit lower than past, and I just wanted to acknowledge the hard work of the staff, and because I think that's an important number to focus on, and so we've made significant progress. I know we have more work to do there, but I just wanted to acknowledge that we've made significant progress on that, and thank you to the staff.
These next two slides are also standard slides based on applications that are pending or have been considered based on county breakdown. You see that the majority are 71. The majority from Worcester County, Middlesex County, Plymouth County, and Berkshire County. This next slide is that of retailers. You'll see that the majority, again, from Worcester County, followed by Berkshire County, Essex County, and Hampshire County. This next slide, based on license type and where applications or licenses are in the process. So for context, it's looking at marijuana cultivator, for example, you'll see that there's 123 applications that are pending. For a total 223, 28 have commenced their operations, 5 are in a final license phase, 54 in a provisional license phase. So left to right really serves as the workflow of the Commission, either pending application all the way through commence operations. For those 731 total applications. This next slide indicates some data relative to adult use agents. You'll see there's a total of 225 applications that are currently pending. There are 7,994 that are active agent registrations. Of those that are pending, 97 are awaiting their review, 116 have been reopened for additional information, 12 are awaiting a third-party response, which third-party response in an agent context is fingerprint checking for laboratory agents. And as they're considered on a rolling basis, 0 are awaiting approval. This next slide is a breakdown based on demographics. You see the majority of those agents, you see the majority, or 66.6%, identify as male.
This slide?
I believe that we did, yeah.
Keep going.
Yep, fair enough. So the next slide, this slide here is relative to our medical licensing. Given that the medical licensing is just converted into the portal, we do expect to break this information down further, similar to the slides we just went through. That said, you see there's a total of 81 provisional MTC licenses, and 60 entities have commenced their operations to date. This next slide is relative to MTC agents. This is a total of 5,479 active agents. On the right-hand side table, you see there's a total of 67,742 certified patients and 62,459 certified active patients. That distinction, as we've talked about before, there are 67,000 folks that are certified, 62,000 folks that are both certified and registered through the program. At this point, based on the progress to date relative to the portal, the majority of applications that do enter for registration or renewal are considered on an automated basis, and that queue is now in a just over 100 applications that are pending for consideration. So that backlog has all but been eliminated.
Great. Again, my appreciation to you and the staff for doing that. It's incredibly important progress.
I believe that's the data presentation.
Okay, so before we get into licenses, what else in your report, Mr. Executive Director?
So for your at least review and information, I have enclosed in your packets an FAQ document, which is a follow-up to the applicant forum that the Commission held back in January. It is comprehensive and something that I think staff took a great deal of time to develop and try to thoughtfully and thoroughly answer questions that were raised. Looking here, it's a total of 11, I'm sorry, not 11, a little more than 11, 24 questions that were identified. Some answers range, or some of the questions range from why is my application taking so long to be reviewed, down to specific questions about considering background checks earlier in the process. And so obviously we appreciate the feedback that folks brought to the Commission and some of the questions that were raised. I'm also pleased that a lot of those questions have either been considered prior and been raised prior, and I think the Commission's taken steps to address earlier. For instance, one of the questions was relative to reopening applications because background check forms had expired. Those forms have been eliminated, and now forms are valid for a year once submitted. That improvement, that enhancement took place several months prior, but certainly folks lived through that experience, and we appreciate them raising it for us. Another question that was posed is the application portal itself not auto-filling certain elements of the application based on a system enhancement that was rolled out on Friday of last week. That has also now been accommodated. So again, the document itself is thorough and substantive. I did want to at least make you aware of it and seek any feedback you may have. Our intention will ultimately be to post it either today, tomorrow, so that it is publicly available, can be shared by commissioners and staff and the Commission through social media. And I also hope that it becomes sort of a living document that as questions continue to get raised, we can either highlight them or share them. Also included in your packet is a FAQ relative to the social equity program, specific to the social equity program, which stems from the presentation you received from Shakia Scott and some of the items that she raised there. There were just some questions as follow-up to that. We want to make sure we are able to respond to those as well. Again, I'm not seeking your a vote on those items today. I just want to make sure you were aware of them. And obviously, I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for the work here. I do appreciate the follow-up to the meeting that we had in January. Any questions or comments from the commissioners?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Commissioner Flanagan.
I just want to thank the staff for putting this together and Sean for the work that you've done. I think, you know, we're going to be here for almost 3 years now, and I think that we have been, if I remind everybody, we were in 5 people in 5 cubicles who can't talk due to the open meeting law, and we were required to stand up this industry in Massachusetts. And while I understand that the frustration is out there for people, there's also a level of a learning curve, and there's also a process that we have to follow in order for us to create this industry that people want to be so much a part of. So I think that this frequently asked questions document is certainly going to be helpful in that. I think it might give some people an insight as to what exactly goes on with the application process, and also remind people that their applications can be opened multiple times. We don't give people just one shot at this apple. And so in other states, you get one shot at the apple, and that's it. You either do it or you don't. And so we're trying to include everybody that we possibly can. And given that fact, I think this is going to be more helpful for a level of education, not only for the public, but for us as well, to have them brought forward. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the staff.
Any other comments or questions from the Executive Director on either the FAQs on licensing or the social equity FAQs? Okay. Again, my thanks to the staff on this. Can you just one more time? I know you mentioned briefly. What's the plan for dissemination?
And so just 2 follow-ups to that. One is to answer your question directly is this document will be finalized. There are some edits I'd like to consider as well, mostly just based on grammar, tone, et cetera. To just finalize this document, we'll then publish it, share it through our social media channels as well. And then obviously if anyone wants to assist with sharing it amongst their own networks, we would appreciate that as well. 2 other things that came up during the applicant forum, and that would be the next phase of that active listening that the Commission is attempting to do here, is roundtables relative to specific topics. We intend to convene those on those specific topics, facilitate conversations, and invite folks to participate in those discussions. And then also, based on the system enhancement that was launched on Friday, which did include that packet consolidation similar to the medical application, we are now finalizing the steps to develop that queuing system where folks will, when they enter the system, one enhancement they should already see is if you have 3 applications pending with the commission, you shouldn't see 12 individual packets. You should see those 3 applications. Similar to that, though, you should also see where they sit in our...
When do you expect that to be available?
Over the next few weeks. I think it's something that we want to be thoughtful about and be complete about. A few caveats I think that we're working through now are your queue depends on when you submitted your application first and foremost, as far as your timestamp. Then a layer on top of that is your priority status or your expedited review status. Some can be automatically expedited just based purely on license type. Other applications need to submit materials to be considered for expedited review. And so that is a manual process that Kyle and his team work through. We want to make sure the system accommodates that, but also makes it clear to anyone that is looking at that queue, as if you may be 12th in line on one day, you might be 15th in line at the end of the day, just based on that factor alone. But those are also the only circumstances under which someone would be expedited, would be through those different policies that the commission has adopted. So we want to make sure we're able to accommodate that, but also appropriately caveat it as well. So we're actively working through that now. So that enhancement that occurred on Friday now facilitates that effort.
That's great. I think it's an incredibly important addition to the capability and to our transparency. So thank you to the staff and to our technology team. Any other comments on follow-up to the listening session?
Not at this time, aside from we appreciate the feedback and we appreciate the Commission's patience with developing this document, and we hope that it serves as answers or at least some assistance for folks as they embark on their own application process as well.
Great. Any questions for the Executive Director or comments? Okay. Anything else in your report, Mr. Executive Director?
No, not at this time.
So given your comment at the beginning that you weren't sure you were prepared, I found you quite prepared. So thank you. Let's move into the licensing part of our agenda. And we have one change of ownership request for Green Meadows Farm LLC, which is a vertically integrated medical marijuana treatment center. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a change of ownership request from Green Meadows Farm. The licensee currently holds a medical marijuana treatment center license. It's in the provisional stage. An entity seeking to acquire ownership and control is Rhea Ventures. Background checks were conducted on the entity disclosed within the application. No suitability issues were discovered. Commission staff conducted an organizational financial inspection over the individuals and entities associated with this change. The commission staff found no issues or inconsistencies with the information provided to the commission in the application. Therefore, commission staff recommend review and decision on this request, and if approved, request that your approval be subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Any questions or comments from the commission? Then can I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation on change of ownership for Green Meadows Farm LLC?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please? Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation on change of ownership for Green Meadows Farm LLC. Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Next, on change of location, we have one again, and it is again Green Meadows Farm LLC. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, the licensee here is Green Meadows Farm. They're currently located for their cultivation and processing facility at 656 Asbury Street in Hamilton. They have dispensing locations currently located on Canal Street in Southbridge. They are seeking to change their location for all 3 operations to 64 Mill Street, located in Southbridge, Massachusetts. Licensee has paid all the applicable fees for this change. We have received certification that they executed a host community agreement with the municipality, and we did receive a municipal response on January 30th stating that the licensee is in compliance with local ordinances and bylaws. Therefore, commission staff recommend review and decision on this request, and if approved, request that your approval be subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or comments? Then can I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation on change of location for Green Meadows Farm LLC? Thank you. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation on change of location for Green Meadows Farm LLC. Thank you, Mr. Potvin. That's it for change of location?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then let's move into the next category of licensing, which are renewals. Again, to just remind the public, our policy with respect to renewals is to review them as a roster and vote on them as a roster unless there's a request to take one or more of them out and talk about them individually. So I think the best way to do this is I'm going to suggest that we do 3 sub-rosters here based upon requests from various commissioners. So A and B, Comcan, E, Bodell's Edibles, and I, Slang Incorporated. Commissioners Flanagan and Title have asked to be discussed separately, so we'll consider those first. And then there'll be another subcategory, and then we'll vote on the remainder. So can I ask either Commissioner Flanagan or Commissioner Title to raise questions or issues with respect to A, B, E, and I?
Sure. With regards to Comcan, I would like some clarification on their positive impact plan update. Under their success goal 3, I'm not really sure what it means when apparently the senior center said after they become more known in the community, come back to us. I thought that they were just writing a check, so I'm just not sure why they would have to go back and they couldn't fulfill that part of the mandate. Do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah, why don't you keep going?
For Bodell's Edibles, there's a little bit of confusion in their update. They said they had initially had done outreach and then said they had not done it. So I would just like to find out exactly what they've done and where they stand on that. And then for me,
Slang?
with Slang Incorporated, it says that as of 12/18 that they were purchased goods and services from Pittsfield, and I'd like to know where that stands.
Okay, and then Commissioner Tyler, you also had a question or a potential condition for Slang?
Yes, I only had one, so let me thank you for all of the work and back and forth that must have gone into making these updates ready. I appreciate that. The one condition I'd like to add is to Slang, which is the diversity plan update had none of the accountability measures in the plan, particularly hiring a diversity officer and assessment data. So I'd like those to be added, please.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to suggest let's just do, we'll do 3 votes on these. Can I ask please for a motion to approve the staff recommendation on renewal for Comcan Incorporated, both MPR 243503 as well as MCR 139870, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioner Flanagan?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, let the record show that the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation for Comcan Incorporated MPR 243503 and Comcan Incorporated MCR 139870, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Let me next ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation on renewal for Bodell Edibles LLC, MBR 169264, again, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation on Bodell's Edibles LLC, MBR 169264, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Let me next ask for a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation for renewal for Slang Incorporated, MRR 205561 retailer, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners Flanagan and Title. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation for Slang Incorporated, MRR 205561, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners Flanagan and Title. The next subset we're going to do will be several of the medical dispensaries that Commissioner Doyle has requested that we review separately. So we're going to talk, and they're all the same conditions, so we can go through them. Yeah, so we'll do M, which is Vitasphere Incorporated, N, Vitasphere Incorporated, P, Heal Incorporated, S, One Connection Corporation, and finally T, Wellness Connection of Massachusetts. Commissioner Doyle.
And I apologize, Mr. Chairman, my computer is completely frozen, so I'm going on.
What a surprise.
I know.
I have notes if you want.
No, that's fine. It is simply to ask the licensees to update the timeline for the locations affected by the particular licenses identified for renewal.
Thank you. Read the letters, sure. Yeah, the letters that would apply here are M, Vitasphere, N, Vitasphere, P, Heal Incorporated, S, One Connection Corp., and T, Wellness Connection of Massachusetts. So I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation on renewal for the licenses that I just mentioned, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Doyle. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Oh, sure, I'm sorry.
On my list, N is herbology.
Yeah, the agenda is different from the slide.
That's not good. So let's,
Okay, so I just might have an earlier one.
yeah, I know. Okay, so I think I've got the right one.
Okay.
I printed it, this comes from this, so
Okay.
that's right. So, sorry for the confusion.
So I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Let the record show that the motion was made by Commissioner Doyle, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue renewals to Vitasphere Incorporated, M, N, Vitasphere Incorporated, P, Heal Incorporated, S, One Connection Corp., and T, Wellness Connection of Massachusetts Incorporated, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Doyle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to read the numbers of the remainder, which I am not aware at this point anybody's requesting conditions on. Obviously, if I've missed something, please stop me. So the remainder of this roster is C, Canna Provisions Incorporated, MRR 205565. D, Canna Provisions Incorporated, MRR 205567. F, Healthy Farms Incorporated, MRR 205562. G, Healthy Farms Incorporated, MCR 139864. H, Healthy Farms Incorporated, MPR 243510. J, Cape Cod Grow Lab LLC, MCR 139863. K, Cape Cod Growth Lab LLC, MPR 243513. L, GreenBiz LLC, MRR 205563. O, Herbology Group Incorporated, which is a vertically integrated medical or marijuana treatment center. Q, Mass Alternative Care Incorporated, also a vertically integrated marijuana treatment center. R, Atlantic Medicinal Partners Incorporated, vertically integrated marijuana treatment center. And finally, U, Proverity Laboratories, which is an independent medical testing laboratory. Can I have, thank you very much. Can I have a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation on renewal for the entities just mentioned?
Could I ask a quick question?
Sure.
I'm sorry. Did we get both the Cape Cod grows? I thought I only heard one. But
I did, no, I mentioned both J and K.
Sorry, that was me just missing it then. So
That's
moved.
okay. So, thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that the commission unanimously approved staff recommendations on renewals for the entities mentioned. Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are we done with renewals?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next category are staff recommendations on final licenses. We're going to break this into to two groups, starting with A, B, C, D, and E. So 1620 Labs LLC, MC 281370, Berkshire Welco, MC 281317, Berkshire Welco LLC, MP 281505, Berkshire Welco LLC, MR 281967, and Nature's Remedy of Massachusetts, MR 282118. Mr. Potvin, anything that you need to add on this?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Then may I ask, are there any conditions before I ask for a vote on this? So for the five that I just mentioned, can I have a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation?
There's one, sorry, I
Yeah,
apologize. I was trying to deal with the computer thing, but there's one condition on the cultivation license for Berkshire Welco that I'd like to.
Okay, so then we're going to, let's treat that separately, and then we'll do the other four. So go ahead. Let's talk about B, Berkshire Welco LLC, MC 281317. Commissioner Doyle?
I'd just like to clarify, it's just adding a condition to make sure everybody is clear that This license is limited to the indoor cultivation proposed in the application and should not be construed to authorize outdoor cultivation, which is subject to a separate license application. And that's the end of the condition. And the reason for the viewing audience, the reason that I bring that up is in the site plan, it also reflects an outdoor
Right.
cultivation that is planned in the future. So I just want to make sure no one has any misunderstanding.
Okay.
Apologies.
So before I ask for a motion on Berkshire Welco cultivation MC 281317, are any other conditions requested?
Just on that one?
Just on that one, yeah. Okay, so we'll treat that one separately. So can I ask, please, for a motion then to approve the staff recommendation for a final license for Berkshire Welco LLC, MC 281317, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Doyle? Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner McBride made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Commissioner Tuttle? Let the record show that the commission approved the staff recommendation for a final license for Berkshire Welco LLC, MC 281317, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Doyle. The vote was 4 in favor. Commissioners Flanagan, McBride, Hoffman, and Doyle, with Commissioner Tuttle abstaining. My intention would next be to go through A, C, D, and E. Again, unless there are individual conditions on any one of those licenses. Okay, then could I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation on final licenses for 1620 Labs LLC, MC 281370, Berkshire Welco LLC, MP 281505, Berkshire Welco LLC, MR 281967, and Nature's Remedy of Massachusetts, MR 282118. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Commissioner Tuttle? Let the record show that the commission approved the staff recommendations for A, C, D, and E with a vote of 4 in favor. Commissioners Flanagan, McBride, Hoffman, and Doyle, with Commissioner Tuttle abstaining. Thank you. I would next like to treat the remaining 4 final license recommendations as a roster. So Ipswich Pharmaceutical Associates, RMD 1306, Liberty Compassion Incorporated, RMD 1465, Middlesex Integrative Medicine, RMD 1025, and NSAJO Holdings, RMD 1425. Can I have a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation for those 4 mentioned licenses.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman?
Yes.
This is not a condition because I'll leave it to the staff's discretion, but I wanted to once again register my discomfort with the name Ipswich Pharmaceutical Associates.
Okay. Thank you. Are we done with final license, Mr. Potvin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to suggest that we go through, there's 34 of these, so let's make it through about half of them, and then we'll take a break, and both you and I can exercise or try to restore our vocal cords. Is that all right?
We can get you help if you need it.
Hey, I'm not sure that the kind of help you have in mind would be all that pleasant, but I don't even think I want to know more specifically what you have in mind. Okay, are you ready, Mr. Potvin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start, let me get to the right slide here. So we're going to do these individually as we do for all provisional licenses. I've made notes to myself about if they, any of these qualify either for prioritization or as an expedited category. But if I miss it, please catch me on it. So the first license that is up for provisional is Caregiver Patient Connection, MPN 281301, Product Manufacturing. They are MTC priority, if I'm correct. Mr. Potvin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you stated, the licensee here is Caregiver Patient Connection, and they're doing business as Local Roots. The location is 60 Tripp Street, located in Framingham, Mass. The license being sought here is a product manufacturing license. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on June 25th of 2019. The community outreach meeting was held on January 26th of 2019, and the commission did receive a response from the municipality on January 13th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license with the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or comments?
This is caregiver, right?
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I would like at some point for them to tell us a little bit more about the number of Fitchburg residents that are going to work in Barry. I have a concern about transportation and the distance between the two cities. I understand what they're trying to do because Fitchburg's an ADI, but I'm just trying to figure out that if it's actually going to work in implementation.
Thank you. Any other comments or requests for conditions, Commissioner Doyle?
No, Mr. Chairman, excuse me, I'd just like to hand off my laptop to our staff.
I'd say it is taking all of my willpower and self-discipline not to abuse you mercilessly on this, so
I'm sure that will happen later.
so far, so good.
Oh,
Do you need some help?
Commissioner Title has graciously offered to assist me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Title. Any other comments or requests for conditions with respect to caregiver-patient connection? Fine, then can I please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to caregiver-patient connection, MPN 281301, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Doyle. Thank you. The next application is Core Empowerment LLC, MRN 281865, retailer, which is an expedited disadvantaged business enterprise. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Core Empowerment LLC. The proposed location is 401A Center Street, located in Boston. The license being sought is a retail license. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on February 7th of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on January 24th of 2019, and the commission did receive a response from the municipality on February 13th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances and bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or comments or requests for conditions on this license, this application? Great, then can I ask please for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Core Empowerment LLC, MRN 281865?
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Title made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Core Empowerment LLC, MRN 281865. Thank you very much. Next is EMB Natural Ventures LLC, MCN 281466, Tier 3 Indoor Cultivation. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is EMB Natural Ventures LLC. The proposed location is 140 Middle Water Street, located in Holyoke, Mass. The license being sought is a Tier 3 Indoor Cultivation license. This applicant is a general applicant. They did execute a host community agreement on October 25th of 2018. The community outreach meeting was held on November 20th of 2018. The commission did receive a response from Holyoke on January 9th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend provisional licensure subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for conditions on this license? Then let me ask please for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to EMB Natural Ventures LLC, MCN 281466. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to EMB Natural Ventures LLC, MCN 281466. Thank you very much. Next is EOS Bittersweet LLC, MCN 281338, Tier 10 Outdoor Cultivation, and I believe this is an expedited application. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is EOS Bittersweet LLC. The proposed location is 973 Barker Road, located in Pittsfield. The license being sought is a Tier 10 Outdoor Cultivation license. The applicant here did receive expedited review based on the fact of the outdoor cultivation application and also their DBE status. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on July 30th of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on May 23rd of 2019, and the commission did receive a response from the municipality on January 22nd of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances and bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend provisional licensure subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions? Yes, Commissioner Flanagan.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like some clarification and more detail in their positive impact plan with regards to, they're very vague in 1.1 and 1.2, which is they're going to network within the community and advertise on the internet, emailing groups, and local periodicals direct at the audience. I'd like to know where and when and how. And also, when it says that they're going to network with the community business leaders with regards to any type of cooperations or partnerships. So I'd like more details on those.
Thank you, Commissioner Flanagan. Any other comments or questions, Commissioner Title?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to suggest a condition related to the diversity plan to revise the goals. The first 3 goals, the number of individuals from above referenced demographic groups, which included women, was to add at least 1 individual falling into those groups. The second was to promote at least 1 individual falling into those groups. And the third was to include at least 10% from individuals falling into those groups. And for a tier 10 business, adding 1 individual from all of those groups seems objectively unreasonable.
Thank you. Other comments or suggested conditions? Okay. Then can I please have a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to EOS Bittersweet LLC, MCN 281338, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners Flanagan and Title?
So moved.
Have a second? Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approves staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to EOS Bittersweet LLC, MCN 281338, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners Flanagan and Title. Next is Freshly Baked Company, MBN 281402, which is a micro business, and this also is an expedited application. Is that correct, Mr. Potvin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
The applicant here is Freshly Baked Company. The proposed location is 144 West Britannia Street, located in Taunton. The license being sought here is a micro business license, and they will be performing cultivation and product manufacturing operations. This applicant did receive expedited review based on the fact that they are applying for a micro business and also because of their DBE status. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on January 31st of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on December 6th of 2018, and a municipal response was received from the municipality on January 15th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for additional conditions? Thank you. Then, Commissioner McBride, I'm sorry.
I don't have any questions. I did want to commend this applicant on their security plan because it's one of the more thoughtful plans that I've seen. Obviously, the way that it gets implemented is going to count a lot, in terms of the inspectional phase. But at this stage, it was a very thoughtful and thorough security.
Great. That's wonderful. Then could I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Freshly Baked Company, MBN 281402?
So moved.
I think Commissioner Durrell beat you by a nanosecond. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Durrell made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Title. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Freshly Baked Company, MBN 281402. Thank you. Next is Frozen 4 Corporation, MPN 281759, product manufacturer, and if I'm correct, this is an economic empowerment applicant. Is that correct, Mr. Potvin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Frozen 4 Corporation. The proposed location is 24 Williams Way, located in Bellingham. The license being sought here is a product manufacturing license. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on February 5th of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on September 17th of 2019, and the commission did receive a municipal response on January 15th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances and bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for conditions on this?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Commissioner Flanagan.
Place the condition that I'd like more information on what exactly the donation to C3RN is going to have an impact on the community stated in the positive impact plan.
Thank you. Any other questions or conditions requested? Okay, thank you. Then could I ask please for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Frozen 4 Corporation, MPN 281759, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan?
So moved.
Have a second, please?
Second.
Oh, you? Sorry. So let the record show that Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Frozen 4 Corporation, MPN 281759, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Thank you. Next is Full Harvest Moons Incorporated, MRN 282474, which is retail, and I believe this is an expedited application. Is that correct, Mr. Potvin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Would you go ahead?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Full Harvest Moon Incorporated. The proposed location is 101 Plastow Road, located in Haverhill. The license being sought here is a retail license, and as you stated, this applicant did receive expedited review based on their DBE status. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on December 17th, 2018. A community outreach meeting was held on January 29 of 2019, and the commission did receive a municipal response from the municipality on January 6, 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Commissioner Flanagan.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put the condition that they rewrite the segment that says that they do not meet the commitments, they will write a check. I've stated this before, I don't mind if they do both, but I think that writing a check, short of having a true impact on a community, is just an easy way out, and I would like to see them redo that. And also, it says, in addition, and it will write an additional 3,000. What is the original amount that they were seeking to give, or is it a percentage? There's just more information that needs to be documented.
Thank you, Commissioner Flanagan. Are there any other comments or requests for conditions? Then can I ask please for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Full Harvest Moons Incorporated, MRN 282474, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan, or conditions requested by Commissioner Flanagan?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please? Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approves staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Full Harvest Moons Incorporated, MRN 282474, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Thank you very much. The next application is Garden Wonders Incorporated, MRN 281970. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Garden Wonders Incorporated. The proposed location is 3 Route 146, located in Millville. The license being sought here is a retail license. This applicant is a general applicant. They did execute a host community agreement on December 17th of 2018. A community outreach meeting was held on January 7th of 2018. The commission did receive a municipal response from the municipality on December 9th of 2019, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for conditions?
Mr. Chairman?
Commissioner Flanagan.
I'd like them to clarify what they're talking about with regards to the record sealing clinic when they say that they're going to focus on quote-unquote local talent and those that have been disproportionately harmed by the drug war. I guess I'm just not sure what category that falls into. And then also, as I read the letter from No Books, No Ball, it doesn't say that they'll accept actual donations. So I'd like that to be clarified as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Flanagan. Other questions or requests for conditions? Commissioner Tittle.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add a condition to revise the diversity plan goal of hiring and retaining women for at least 10% of available positions.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or requests for conditions? And
Oh, wait, my condition's for the wrong one. Sorry. Mine's
So,
the green line.
so you have no condition requested on this one, but Commissioner Title, you do have okay, fine, thank you. Can I then have a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Garden Wonders Incorporated, MRN 281970, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Title?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Title. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let the record show the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Garden Wonders Incorporated, MRN 281970, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Title. Thank you. Next up is our two applications, if I'm correct, for Green Line Boston co-located, so one discussion, two votes. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Green Line Boston Incorporated. The proposed location is 100 Hampden Street, located in Boston. The two licenses being sought are a Tier 4 indoor cultivation license and a product manufacturing license. This applicant is a general applicant. They did execute a host community agreement on October 18th of 2018. Our community outreach meeting was held on August 1st of 2018. The commission did receive a municipal response from Boston on February 13th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of two provisional licenses subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for conditions? Commissioner McBride? Just bring it a little closer to you, please.
So this is a really extensive product list, and I appreciate the detail that the applicant went into. They provided a lot of detail. There are a couple of places where I'd like to actually see images of what they are planning on producing and see it when it's ready to go to market, and specifically the gummy chews and the fruit rings. So according to the product listing, these are going to be 5 milligram servings, 22 a package as allowed under our regs. Are they individually wrapped? If they are not, how are they planning on imprinting them or on stamping them? And I'm just kind of thinking about products that are currently on the market that are not marijuana products that based on their description, I think would look very similar. So I just want to make sure that we see these products before they come to market, because I want to make sure that our requirements are being adhered to in this particular instance.
Thank you. Commissioner Flanagan.
I'd like to have the previously stated conditions placed upon this applicant.
Okay. Can you just for my recollection, could you just repeat it?
Sure. Under the record sealing clinic that they're going to have, I want to know what it means by local talent and what cohort they come under in our regulations and guidances. And also, to my understanding, the no books, no ball letter does not say that they will accept donations from this entity. So I'd like that to be rectified.
Okay. Thank you. Other conditions or questions? And Commissioner McBride, your condition would relate to J, the product manufacturing license, not the cultivation license. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. Okay, then let me ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Green Line Boston Incorporated, MCN 281336, Tier 4 indoor cultivation, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Title. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Green Line Boston Incorporated, MCN 281336, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Let me next ask for a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation for Green Line Boston Incorporated, MPN 281327, product manufacturer, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners McBride and Flanagan. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show that the motion was made by Commissioner Doyle, seconded by Commissioner Title. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Let the record show that the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Green Line Boston Incorporated, MPN 281327, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners McBride and Flanagan. Thank you. I got another 6 or 7 in me, and then I think we'll take a break, okay?
It's up to you.
This is a battle of attrition. Next is Harmony of Massachusetts Incorporated, MRN 282668. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Harmony of MA Incorporated. The proposed location is 111-113 Shrewsbury Street, located in West Boylston, Mass. The license being sought here is a retail license. This applicant is the general applicant that executed a host community agreement on January 23rd of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on January 3rd of 2019. The commission did receive a municipal response on January 2nd of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Any questions or comments or requests for conditions? Commissioner Flanagan.
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple of conditions. I'm a little confused by their positive impact plan because it states that they've identified the 5 cohorts, but then under the programs, it sounds like all the hiring is going to happen at Friendly House. So would like some clarification to find out if that's where they're going to advertise only, or if they're going to have other opportunities for other people to be able to apply for jobs. And the other piece I'd like to have tightened up is that they did say that they would volunteer or provide a check, and I like that rewritten, because again, I think that it's just very easy to write a check. It doesn't necessarily have the most impact. So those are the 2 conditions that I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Flanagan. Other questions or requests for conditions? Thank you. Then can I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Harmony of Massachusetts Incorporated, MRN 282668, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioner Flanagan? Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Thank you. Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Harmony of Massachusetts Incorporated, MRN 282668, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Thank you. Can you help me out on this one, Mr. Potvin? I don't know how to pronounce this.
I've been calling it Haven Extracts.
Okay. I hope that's right. My apologies if that's incorrect. The next application is Haven Extracts, LLC, MPN 281627, product manufacturer. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Haven Extracts LLC. The proposed location is 125 Southbridge Road, located in Oxford. The license being sought here is a product manufacturing license. The applicant is a general applicant that executed a host community agreement on April 29th of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on March 20th of 2019. The commission did receive a response from the municipality on January 6th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for conditions on this license? Mr. McBride.
I don't have any questions, but again, I'm just trying to identify where there are applicants that I think have gone over and above. And this is an applicant where their diversion prevention plan was really excellent.
Great.
So.
Thank you. Anything else? And could I please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Haven Extracts LLC, MPN 281627?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Haven Extracts LLC, MPN 281627. And again, my apologies if I've butchered the pronunciation of the name. Next up is Keystone Bluff LLC, MBN 281450, which is microbusiness, and this is an expedited application. Mr. Potvin, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
The applicant here is Keystone Bluff LLC. The proposed location is 241 Highway 20, located in Chester. The application is a micro-business application that will be performing cultivation and product manufacturing operations. This applicant did receive expedited review based on their license type that they are applying for. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on August 20th of 2018. The community outreach meeting was held on August 27th of 2018. A municipal response was received from the municipality on January 20th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Potvin. Commissioner Flanagan.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like a couple of conditions placed upon this applicant. First off, I appreciate the fact that they want to attain the social justice leader status. I don't think it's appropriate for the positive impact plan, so I'd like them to take a look at that and either amend it or take it out. And then specifically, with regards to the donations, and I'm pretty sure that MRCC knows I'm going to ask this, I'd like for them to tell us exactly how they're going to impact the specific ADIs that are mentioned in this application.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or requests for conditions on this license? Yes, Commissioner Title.
I'd just like to recognize them for what I thought were exceptional diversity and positive impact plans.
Great. Thank you. Anything else? Then could I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Keystone Bluff LLC, MBN 281450, subject to conditions requested by Commissioner Flanagan?
So moved.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Title. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Keystone Bluff LLC, MBN 281450, subject to conditions requested by Commissioner Flanagan. We have 3 applications next for Lazy River Products LLC, all co-located, correct? So let's go through one discussion, and then we'll have 3 separate votes. Mr. Potvin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Lazy River Products LLC. The proposed location is 145 Broadway Road, located in Drickett. The 3 licenses being sought are a Tier 3 indoor cultivation license, product manufacturing license, and a retail license. This applicant is the general applicant that executed a host community agreement on December 26th of 2018. The community outreach meeting was held on January 29th of 2019. The commission received a municipal response on December 31st of 2019 stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances and bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of provisional licenses subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or comments or requests for additional conditions on any or all of these licenses? Commissioner McBride? I'm sorry, Commissioner Flanagan?
So I have the same condition as I did for
On
Green Line.
the manufacturing.
Yeah, I
license,
want
right?
to see the image of the gummy chews and the image of the fruit rings. If they're in, this applicant doesn't specify if they're going to be in multi-serving packages. If they are going to be, then are they individually wrapped? If not, do we know what the plan is to imprint them individually?
Thank you. Commissioner Flanagan?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to put a couple conditions.
On all 3?
Sure. When it says posting job openings at technical schools and community colleges, we need to be aware of the population of people that are going to be targeted. I have a question that unless it's night school, I'm not sure how tech schools have people that are over 21 in them, in their day programs. And also, when they're talking about sponsorship opportunities, because it seems sort of vague, except for the wine tasting and the golf tournament, be aware of the audience that they're going to be targeting. And then the third, under measurement, while I applaud Lazy River for allowing their employees to decide what they think are nonprofits that they would like to support, I would also like to ask that if they decide to support someone other than the Merrimack Valley Food Bank, that we get a letter from them stating that they're willing to take that support from Lazy River.
Thank you, Commissioner Flanagan. Are there other questions or comments or requests for conditions? Commissioner Title?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to suggest a condition on all 3 to revise the diversity plan goal to recruit 20% of its employees as minorities, women, veterans, people with disabilities, or individuals of the LGBTQ community.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments or requests for conditions? Okay, so we'll go through each of these licenses individually for a vote. So first up is Lazy River Products LLC, MCN 282085. Subject, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners Flanagan and Title.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Let the record show Commissioner McBride made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Lazy River Products LLC, MCN 282085, subject to conditions requested by Commissioners Flanagan and Title. Next, let's move on to Lazy River Products LLC, MPN 281644, subject to, again, to conditions requested by Commissioners Title, Flanagan, and McBride. Can I have a motion, please, to do so?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show that the motion was made by Commissioner Flanagan, seconded by Commissioner
Doyle.
Doyle. Can I have a Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Lazy River Products LLC, MPN 281644, subject to conditions requested by Commissioners Tidal, McBride, and Flanagan. Finally, let me ask for a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Lazy River Products LLC, MRN 282562, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners Tidal and Flanagan. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Lazy River Products LLC, MRN 282562, subject to the conditions requested by Commissioners Tidal and Flanagan. I got one more in me, and then we'll take a break, so let's keep going. Legal Greens LLC, MRN 282937, and this is an economic empowerment applicant, if I'm correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Legal Greens LLC. The proposed location is 73-75 Pleasant Street, located in Brockton, Mass. The license being sought here is a retail license. As previously stated, they are an economic empowerment applicant. They executed a host community agreement on October 4th of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on September 10th of 2019. The commission did receive a municipal response on January 29th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license, subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there questions or comments or requests for additional conditions on this application? Okay, then can I have a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Legal Greens LLC, MRN 282937?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second? This is Commissioner Tidal that made the motion. Let the record show Commissioner Tidal made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Legal Greens LLC, MRN 282937. It is, according to the clock on the wall, 11:12. I'm going to suggest that we reconvene at 11:25. So we're on break till then. Thank you.
Heavier than I think. Totally.
It is also expedited. Is that correct? Mr. Potvin, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is Magic Dragon LLC. The proposed location is 61 Fremont Street, located in Worcester. They are seeking a micro-business license for cultivation and product manufacturing operations. This applicant did receive the expedited review based on the license type. They executed a host community agreement on March 21st of 2019. They conducted a community outreach meeting on October 25th of 2019. The commission did receive a response from the municipality on January 24th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license, subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Any questions or requests for conditions on this license?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Flanagan.
I have serious concerns with the name of this entity, and I will leave it up to staff to decide what, if any, action can be taken. Given our advertising regulations, I don't see how a name of Magic Dragon is going to be able to advertise when, in my opinion, and I think in the history of children's books opinions, it appeals to children. So I would hope that the staff could have a serious conversation with this entity with regard to their name.
Thank you. Would you like that to be a condition or just a request of staff? Okay, thank you. Commissioner McBride.
I'm just going to second what Commissioner Flanagan just said regarding the name. These are tough calls, and I don't necessarily know what the right thing to do is, but I know that, so this actually is in my kid's bookcase at home. And
Great Peter Paul, Mary
yeah,
song.
and everyone's familiar with the song, and people can debate the origins of the song and what it meant.
Is there a debate about the origins?
There
of the
is,
song?
actually,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, offline. Let's not waste everybody else's time, but I'd love to hear about that.
But I mean, I think
I love that song.
all of this just kind of falls, I think, under the category of encouraging anyone who is going to be coming into this industry to be thoughtful, in this state with our marketing and advertising regulations. And I think, at this point, applicants have heard our concerns. We talked about Ipswich Pharmaceutical. We've talked about other names in the past. So just being cognizant that it's an issue and it's something that we are thinking about.
Okay, great, thank you. Commissioner Title.
Sorry, just for clarity, could Commissioner Flanagan or someone else restate what the condition is?
My condition is for staff to talk to the entity with regards to how they proceed forward. I think given the advertising restrictions, I don't see how they even put their name on a flyer or a pamphlet or anything, because it appeals to children, and so that's the condition. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or conditions? And I'm going to just ask for one condition. You did not add to an additional condition. It was just Commissioner Flanagan's that you were supporting. Okay, thank you. Then could I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Magic Dragon LLC, MBN 281346, subject to the condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan? Have such a motion, please.
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Title. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Magic Dragon LLC, MBN 281346, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Flanagan. Okay, thank you very much. Next, there are 3 license applications from NSAJO Holdings Incorporated, all co-located. So we'll do one discussion and 3 votes. This is also a MTC priority applicant. Mr. Potvin, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is NSAJO Holdings Incorporated. The proposed location is 20 Authority Drive, located in Fitchburg. The 3 licenses being sought are that of a Tier 2 indoor cultivation license, product manufacturing license, and a retail license. As previously stated, this applicant was given MTC priority status. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on June 20th of 2018. A community outreach meeting was held on September 26th of 2018, and the commission received municipal responses on January 15th and also February 13th related to all 3 licenses, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances and bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of 3 provisional licenses subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there questions or comments or requests for conditions? Okay. Again, we'll vote on each of the 3 license applications separately, starting with NSAJO Holdings Incorporated, MCN 281884. Could I have a motion to approve the staff recommendation?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to NSAJO Holdings Incorporated, MCN 281884. Next, please could I ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to NSAJO Holdings Incorporated, MPN 281564. Could I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, that was Commissioner Flanagan, second. Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to NSAJO Holdings Incorporated, MPN 281564. Thank you. Next, could I ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to NSAJO Holdings Incorporated, MRN 282236. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made. Thank you. Let the record show that Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to NSAJO Holdings Incorporated, MRN 282236. Thank you. Next up is Pure Industries Incorporated, MCN 281411, Tier 2 Indoor Cultivation. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you stated, the applicant here is Pure Industries Incorporated. The proposed location is 181 Stedman Street, located in Lowell. The license being sought here is a Tier 2 indoor cultivation license. This applicant is a general applicant that executed a host community agreement on November 21st of 2018. They conducted a community outreach meeting on August 29th of 2018. The commission did receive a municipal response on January 3rd of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Questions or comments or requests for conditions? Commissioner Tattle?
I'd like to add a condition to revise the diversity plan goals.
Anything specific?
the goal to specifically make best efforts to hire at least 15% employees that are women and/or minorities.
Thank you. Any other questions or requests for conditions? Thank you. Then could I please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Pure Industries Incorporated, MCN 281411, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Title?
So moved.
Thank you. Could I have a second, please? Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Pure Industries Incorporated, MCN 281411, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Title. Thank you. We now have two applications from RC Cultivation LLC, both co-located, if I'm correct. So we'll have one conversation and two votes. First is RC Cultivation LLC, MCN 281683, Tier 11 Indoor Cultivation, and second, MPN 281646, Product Manufacturer. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant here is RC Cultivation LLC. The proposed location is 30 Pullman Street, located in Worcester. The two licenses being sought are a Tier 11 Indoor Cultivation license and a Product Manufacturing license. This applicant is a general applicant that executed a host community agreement on March 26, 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on June 3rd of 2019, and the commission did receive a response from the municipality on January 24th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of two provisional licenses, subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there questions or comments or requests for conditions on either or both of these licenses? Great.
Yes.
Commissioner Title?
I'd like to add a condition to revise the diversity plan goal that at least 6% of the staff will be women.
And that's for both licenses, obviously.
Thank you.
Any other comments or requests for conditions? Thank you. Okay, so let's start with RC Cultivation LLC, MCN 281683. Can I have a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Title?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please? Second. Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Title. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to RC Cultivation LLC, MCN 281683, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Title. Thank you. Could I then please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to RC Cultivation LLC, MPN 281646, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Title? Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the Commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to RC Cultivation LLC, MPN 281646, subject to the additional condition requested by Commissioner Title. Thank you. Okay. Next, we have two license applications for Royalston Farm LLC, co-located. So again, one discussion, two votes, and these are expedited both because on the basis of being social equity participants. Is that correct? So, Mr. Potvin, Royalston Farm LLC, MCN 282065, Tier 3 Indoor Cultivation, and Royalston Farm LLC, MPN 281633, Product Manufacturer. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you stated, the applicant here is Royalston Farm LLC. The proposed location is 1 Valley Drive, located in Templeton, Mass. The two licenses being sought are a Tier 3 Indoor Cultivation license and a Product Manufacturing license. Again, to reiterate, this applicant did receive expedited review based on their social equity participant status. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on September 23rd of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on June 4th of 2019, and the commission did receive municipal responses from the municipality on February 5th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, staff do recommend issuing two provisional licenses subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or comments or requests for conditions on either or both of these licenses? Okay. Then could I please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to, excuse me, Royalston Farm LLC, MCN 282065?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show Commissioner Title made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Royalston Farm LLC, MCN 282065. May I next please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Royalston Farm LLC, MPN 281633. Can I have such a motion? I'm sorry, Commissioner Flanagan, was that you? Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Tidal. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Royalston Farm LLC, MPN 281633. Thank you. Next up is Tempest Incorporated, MRN 282541, which is also a social equity applicant, and therefore expedited. Mr. Potvin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This applicant's name is Tempest Incorporated. Their proposed location is 248 Gardner Road, located in Templeton. They are seeking a retail license. Again, this applicant is an expedited applicant based on their social equity participant status. The applicant did execute a host community agreement on September 23rd of 2019. The community outreach meeting was held on June 4th of 2019. The commission did send a municipal notice to the town of Templeton on December 16th of 2019. To date, the commission has not received a response. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of a provisional license subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there questions or comments or requests for conditions? Thank you. Then can I please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Tempest Incorporated, MRN 282541?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Tidal. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Tempest Incorporated, MRN 282541. Thank you very much. Next, we have 4 applications from Treebeard Incorporated. Again, if I'm correct, these are co-located. So one conversation, 4 votes. This is also an economic empowerment applicant, if I'm correct. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you stated, the applicant here is Treebeard Incorporated. The proposed location is 1 Nauset Street, located in New Bedford, Mass. The 4 licenses being sought are a Tier 1 indoor cultivation license, product manufacturing license, retail license, and a transporter with other marijuana establishment licenses. The applicant here, again, is an economic empowerment applicant. They did execute a host community agreement on October 3rd of 2019. A community outreach meeting was held on October 16th of 2019, and the commission did receive a municipal response from New Bedford on January 22nd of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances or bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of 4 provisional licenses subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for conditions on any or all of these applications? Commissioner McBride? I'm sorry. You weren't. I misinterpreted your, okay, I apologize. But sometimes you look, I apologize. I apologize for being presumptuous. Are there any questions or comments or requests for conditions on any of these licenses? Okay, thank you. Then let me ask, please, for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Treebeard Incorporated, MCN 281961, Tier 1 indoor cultivation. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Could I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Treebeard Incorporated, MCN 281961. Next, let me ask for a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Treebeard Incorporated, MPN 281590. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show commission unanimously approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Treebeard Incorporated, MPN 281590. Next, let me ask for a motion, please, to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to MRN 282, or Treebeard Incorporated, MRN 282358. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show Commissioner Tidal made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Treebeard Incorporated, MRN 282358. Next, please, could I ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Treebeard Incorporated, MXN 281359. Can I have such a motion, please? Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to Treebeard Incorporated, MXN 281359. Thank you very much. Next, we have 3 applications for United Cultivation LLC, again co-located. Mr. Potvin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you stated, the applicant is United Cultivation LLC. The proposed location is 601-603 Fitchburg State Road, located in Ashby. The 3 licenses being sought are a Tier 4 indoor cultivation license, product manufacturing license, and a retail license. The applicant here is the general applicant that executed a host community agreement on April 17th of 2019. They conducted a community outreach meeting on December 19th of 2018, and the commission did receive municipal responses from the municipality on February 5th of 2020, stating that the applicant was in compliance with all local ordinances and bylaws. Therefore, commission staff do recommend the issuance of 3 provisional licenses, subject to the conditions before you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Potvin. Are there any questions or requests for conditions on any or all of these licenses? Okay. Then please could I ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to United Cultivation LLC, MCN 282106? Thank you. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approved the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to United Cultivation LLC, MCN 282106. Let me next please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to United Cultivation LLC, MPN 281666. Can I please have such a motion? Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show Commissioner Flanagan made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to United Cultivation LLC, MPN 281666. Let me next please ask for a motion to approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to United Cultivation LLC, MRN 282633. Can I have such a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner McBride. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the commission unanimously approve the staff recommendation to issue a provisional license to United Cultivation LLC, MRN 282633. Thank you. Mr. Potvin, are we done? Do we have any more provisional licenses?
We have no more licenses.
Then, first of all, thank you to the commission, but I want to particularly thank Mr. Potvin and the rest of the licensing and enforcement staff. Formidable, tremendous amount of work, and most importantly, the diligence that goes into every one of these we really appreciate. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We are done with the licensing part of the agenda. There are 2 more remaining topics. First is responsible vendor training, and I think that if I can characterize the conversation that we're going to have, there will be a proposal from the executive director to create a waiver process for these applicants to allow them to do distance learning or distance teaching. And then if we approve the waiver process, there'll be the first application for a waiver for one of the applicants. Is that correct, Mr. Executive Director? Close enough?
Close enough.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Executive Director.
Sure. Apologies, I'll pinch hit today for Dr. Johnson, who is out of the office. So I want to kind of present as you indicated, a process that has been at least asked of the commission. As you know, we have a number of vendors that have been certified as responsible vendor trainers. And to date, those vendors are off and running and actively training agents within the industry.
Could I excuse myself for a second? Could somebody please get our general counsel for the next agenda item? I don't see her in the room. She's on her way. Thank you. Apologize for the interruption, Mr. Executive Director.
So as I was beginning to present it, there are a number of vendors that are actively and are currently certified. The commission has delegated the ability to authorize or approve waivers to me, and then in my discretion, I've used it or authorized or considered them in the past. This one, because it is, the reason I'm asking for your consideration of it today is the substantive request is ultimately to not conduct live in-person training, but instead operate through an online module. Without the commission's explicit consideration of that, I'm uncomfortable just exercising that authority. So before you is a request or is a waiver request that has been submitted on behalf of an applicant. Really, again, as indicated, the substantive request is to waive the requirement through regulation that the program be taught in real-time interactive classroom settings. Instead, what is proposed is that online module, still containing, however, strict verification, interactivity, as well as user feedback that would be benefited or would be leveraged through a traditional classroom setting. This one, however, would be proposed through an online module. So wanted to put that before you for your consideration. Beyond that, this applicant that I would recommend next would ultimately comply with every other element of RVT training.
So just to be clear, you would like a discussion vote on your delegation of the ability to give a waiver, or
That delegation is explicit already in regulation.
what are you looking for explicitly then?
If the commission would consider this specific applicant with this waiver accompanying it.
Are there comments or questions, Commissioner Doyle?
I'd like to speak in support of it, consideration of this. I do think having an alternative format of online training available will assist our smaller applicants who may not be able to readily spare staff to go to a real-time interactive classroom setting. So I'd like to do as much as we can to make online training that satisfies our staff in terms of its ability to verify the person is who they say they are, and also that they are satisfied with the substance of the training. I would like to make that available to our licensees.
Thank you. Commissioner Title?
I'm in support of this to make sure that all the similarly situated applicants are being treated the same. If there are others that wanted to apply for the same waiver, can they do so immediately after this meeting?
To directly answer the question, yes, absolutely. Prior to seeking the commission's approval of this, not wanting to get ahead of the commission, this is something we would make available both to those that are pending applicants as well as those that have already been considered and are certified as RVT trainers. So that is absolutely our intention. Again, in seeking your consideration of it today, that'll now facilitate, if it's met with your approval, would facilitate that communication, again, to pending applicants as well as those that have already been certified.
Could we delegate to you the authority that if there are any pending applicants where the only issue would be this issue that the waiver is addressing, could we delegate to you the authority to approve those?
Honestly, I believe I have the authority today, sufficient authority today. As I mentioned, I think my hesitation in approving it was, or considering it for that matter in its entirety, was wanting to bring it to the commission to seek your approval or your consideration of it. But I believe I have sufficient authority today to do that.
Commissioner McBride?
So I appreciate you bringing this before us because I think that there are some details here that for me make a difference in terms of the way that we look at this waiver. And the big one is the identification piece of it. So in this program, each trainee must verify identification with photo ID and biometric signature both at entry, and the important part is, and randomly during the course to ensure identity confirmation. That, I think, provides an additional safeguard that we know that the participant in the course is there doing the same thing that they would be doing if they were at an in-person training. And I think that that makes a pretty significant difference. And so I would really encourage, whether it's an existing RVT or someone who's coming before us seeking certification, to really think about that component, because I think that that will be something that we need to look at to ensure that it's doing what it says it's doing.
Thank you.
No, I agree with Commissioner Doyle mostly about the fact that, you have smaller entities that have people who are living in rural areas who it's not as easily accessible to get to an actual classroom. That I think in 2020, when a lot of things are remote and a lot of things are online, this just makes sense.
So, Mr. Executive Director, I think you have a sense of the sentiment of the Commission, which is we appreciate you raising this with us. It is in your authority already, but we appreciate you giving us an opportunity to comment on this. But you have our support going forward as you proposed.
So I think, therefore, Mr. Chairman, I would seek the Commission's approval of the application as presented for, let me just confirm the correct identity, MACCTI LLC, and then in consideration of approval of that, to also grant the waiver of the regulatory requirement. as requested.
Would you articulate specifically, you're looking for a motion and a vote?
That's correct.
Okay, so if you wouldn't, one more time, just articulating what you're looking for.
So I would
I'll ask for a motion and a vote.
Seek the Commission's approval of granting or certifying MACCTI LLC as an RVT vendor, and then in that approval would include the granting of the waiver as requested by the applicant.
Thank you. Can I have such a motion? Go ahead, Commissioner Tile.
Sorry,
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so I was confused earlier. So you already have the authority to grant the waiver, but the commission needs to approve the actual vendor. Okay, so I was not clear about that before. So could I just ask if there are other pending applicants for whom this waiver would be relevant, that they be considered at the next meeting?
There are a number of pending applicants that have proposed an online module. Our intention would be to reach out to them and relay this development or this opportunity to them. To Commissioner McBride's point as well, those online modules come in various forms and with various criteria. We would essentially take this standard and apply it, knowing that elements of that in-person training is an important component as far as identification of the actual agent or proposed agent. So that criteria would also be communicated to them as well. So again, looking for ultimately the applicant's feedback on their ability to meet that criteria. But we would communicate with them directly.
So if they do meet the criteria, though, with the waiver considered, could they be considered at the next meeting?
That would be our intention, yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Doyle?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to re-articulate the motion, just because I'd like to preserve the structure as it is. So what I'd like to do is move to approve the application of MACCTI LLC number RVN 453-191, subject to the executive director's granting of the waiver that they have requested. Just to
No, that's fine, I appreciate that, and Mr. Executive Director, I assume you're comfortable with that language, then such motion was made by Commissioner Doyle. Did I hear a second, Commissioner Flanagan? So let the record show Commissioner Doyle made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Flanagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show the Commission unanimously approved the motion. Thank you very much. Mr. Executive Director, is there anything else on this topic? Or you
No, thank
have
you.
what you need? Okay, thank you. One additional agenda item is the litigation that is currently proceeding in the city of Cambridge about their equity program. What I have asked for is the general counsel, please approach the bench. Is that the right thing to say? Pardon?
It's your court.
I don't think I want that. If you can turn your mic on. What I've asked the general counsel to do to kind of structure this conversation is twofold. First, I've asked her to provide a real-time update on the status of this litigation, given that things are happening, seems like pretty daily on this. So if you could make sure we're all on the same page in terms of exactly where things stand. And then the discussion will be about if the commission is interested in potentially trying to be a participant in this litigation. And I'm not asking the general counsel for a recommendation on that, but I am asking the general counsel, I have asked the general counsel to articulate the alternatives based upon the discussion and vote of the commission, if we do wish to try to become a party to this. But let's start, if we could, by just getting an update on where the proceedings stand. General counsel, thank you very much for your help, by the way.
Sure. As you know, the Middlesex Superior Court allowed Revolutionary Clinics a licensee injunctive relief by enjoining the city of Cambridge
Yeah, I think
from enforcing.
Kristen, you need to get very close.
There we go. It's Cannabis Business Permitting Ordinance, which essentially allows economic empowerment priority applicants priority status in its municipal permitting process for a 2-year period. So the status of the case right now is that Cambridge is seeking a stay of the preliminary injunction decision, and Revolutionary Clinics is seeking a finding of contempt. Late yesterday, the Middlesex Superior Court scheduled a hearing for April 13th to consider these requests. So that's new. Cambridge also filed a petition seeking review by the single justice of the appeals court, or a single justice, of the preliminary injunction decision, and Revolutionary Clinics has opposed that petition. As of an hour or so ago, the single justice has not acted on this petition. Finally, Cambridge filed a notice of appeal The lower court would need to assemble and transmit the record before the appeal can be docketed in the appeals court. That hasn't happened yet. So, Chairman, your options or the Commission's options at this point are to consult with the Office of the Attorney General about potential options. So in coordination with the Attorney General's office, the Commission may have an option of filing a letter or an amicus brief, which could include a Brandeis brief at an appropriate juncture.
Could you, for us non-lawyers, Brenda?
Sure. So an amicus brief is a brief in which the Commission would set forth both legal arguments and potentially provide the court with some information, for example, an explanation of its licensing process or its application of priority status. A Brandeis brief would not necessarily include a legal argument. It would be more focused on information provided to the court. In the past, the AG's office has also allowed agencies to simply file a letter with the court as opposed to an entire brief. They have not, I believe they have not done so yet in the appeals court, but they have done that in the SJC. So that could be an option to explore with them. Another option, which I think might be more difficult, is for the Commission to seek to intervene as a party. So I'm prepared to provide the Commission with any other support it needs, but that's the essential
I
summary.
appreciate that. Thank you very much, General Counsel. Before we discuss what, if anything, we just do here, I know that Commissioner Tiles asked for an opportunity to make comment.
Thank you for your work on this and for your memo. I appreciate it. I'm going to suggest that we do consult with the Attorney General about filing a letter or a brief with the narrow scope of making a clarification. Given that this is a public conversation, I would like some time to really lay out the context and what I'm saying and what I'm not saying and why, if you do.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So this should be considered in the context that the Commission was required under the law to grant priority to both groups, medical dispensaries and economic empowerment applicants. And we intended to grant them on an alternating basis if complete applications were submitted from both groups. But we specifically decided as a regulatory policy that we would not hold up one group if there was a completed application in that group, meeting the requirements, ready to go, but there was not a completed application meeting the requirements, ready to go in the other group. And so there has been a very lopsided disparity between the two groups. Since the beginning, it's been lopsided. The current numbers as of before this meeting are 193 RMD priority applications that have been granted and 8 economic empowerment applications that had been granted. It's important to note that it's not necessarily as simple as there should be fewer of Group A. This is just as an aside, because if it was a much smaller group, potentially there would have been a real monopoly there along the line. So I say that just to say I think these numbers are somewhat complex. I would not read them as black and white, but I think without a doubt that you can read 193 versus 8, there has been a problematic disparity here the whole time, and there still is. So with that understanding, after holding many hearings and discussing this for several meetings, the City of Cambridge voted to impose a temporary delay on medical dispensaries converting to adult use dispensaries by providing that for the first 2 years, the city would only issue a cannabis business permit to operate a cannabis retail store to economic empowerment applicants. Revolutionary Clinics then sued to prevent the City of Cambridge from implementing this ordinance, citing the profits it would lose during this 2-year delay. So with that context, I want to talk about the decision and then give my suggestion as to whether it's appropriate for us to make any clarifications by filing a letter or a brief. So the court granted the motion for an injunction, meaning that Cambridge was prevented for now from implementing its ordinance, and the court's rationale was that its ordinance appears to exceed the municipal authority in the statute and to, quote, conflict with the CCC's regulations method for giving priority review to EE applicants and RMD applicants. So again, to review, the CCC's method for giving priority review to these two groups of applicants, which is in our regulations, is that the commission shall review applications from the two groups on an alternating basis. But where no complete application is available for review by the commission from either of the priority groups, the commission shall review the next complete application from either group. So this sounds very administrative, but it's very important to understand how this process has played out in practice, because the case largely turned on what I think is a misunderstanding of how this played out in practice. So if we review an RMD priority application, we intend to alternate, but there is no completed economic empowerment application to review, which was the case very frequently, then instead of waiting and holding up the other application, we move on to the next RMD priority application until there is a completed economic empowerment application. And this is how we ended up in this very lopsided situation with 193 from one group and 8 from the other. So the court decision that an ordinance to only permit one group, this group that is currently at 8 licenses in one municipality, was based on what looks to me like an assumption that in practice we were actually granting alternating RMD priority and economic empowerment priority licenses, because it appears that's what our regulations implied, or that's how our regulations were interpreted, when we have in fact granted 193 of one and 8 of the other. And the reason I think that assumption is not in line with the reality in practice and needs to be clarified is because the decision reads, quote, "The permitting ordinance is in direct conflict with the CCC's priority applicant scheme, which provides that the CCC shall review applications from priority applicants on an alternating basis." And then goes on to say, "By only allowing economic empowerment applicants to obtain the local permitting necessary to submit the license application to the CCC, the permitting ordinance circumvents the CCC's regulations requirements that the applications of EE applicants and RMD applicants be reviewed on an alternating basis." So that ordinance circumvents our alternate review. As one more aside, I think what's really interesting is that I think it's hard to say whether this is a good or bad result, and I suggest that we don't take a position one way or the other, because on the one hand, if the decision was held up, it would stop Cambridge from attempting to help balance this 193 to 8 ratio. But on the other hand, by this logic, I think each individual municipality would be responsible for permitting or approving both RMD and EE priority applicants, or else risk directly conflicting with our regulations. So to me, that's not necessarily a bad thing if it was based on an accurate understanding of our regulation and how it's coming out in practice, because by that logic, an economic empowerment applicant could say to a city or town that has done the opposite, that has only issued HCAs to medical dispensaries, for example, in the same way that Revolutionary Clinics, a medical dispensary, successfully sued, if they had successfully sued because they would lose profits if Cambridge only issued permits to economic empowerment applicants, you could say by that logic, I, an economic empowerment applicant, would similarly lose profits if your city only has allowed medical dispensaries to move forward. I think that would be a logical argument to make. So it's unclear to me whether, what direction would be best. I don't know if it's even appropriate or our role to weigh in on that. But either way, I don't think we should take sides on the case. But I do think on the very narrow question of, is our regulatory intent and our current practice being correctly interpreted here? In other words, does an ordinance that only allows EE applicants to obtain local permitting necessary to submit its license application circumvent our self-imposed requirement to review EE and RMD applicants on an alternating basis? I think the answer to that question is no. It does not circumvent it in practice. And in fact, such an ordinance would bring us closer to a balance between our 193 to 8 ratio. So I do think it is our responsibility to clarify that misunderstanding, make it clear what our regulatory intent was, how it has played out in practice, and then leave it up to the court to do what it will with that information.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Tuttle. Before we move any further, I just want to give the same opportunity to anybody, any other commissioner, to comment. Commissioner Doyle?
Thank you. Actually, this is more of a clarification, and I'm hoping General Counsel will help me out here. Just before anyone gets carried away is the wrong word, but excited about the Superior Court decision being extrapolated to other municipalities. Could you talk about the nature of Superior Court decisions in terms of binding versus persuasive? Because I think that would help clarify
Absolutely.
that situation.
Yeah, I think it's important to note here that this was a decision on a motion for a preliminary injunction. So the court was, there's a phrase, not really ruling on the merits, but basically looking at whether Revolutionary Clinics was likely to succeed on the merits. So this is a really early stage of these proceedings. The court in these, the parties in these, the various documents that they've filed will have another opportunity to have their day in court and argue the merits of this position. The court also in this instance noted that it didn't reach some issues that it felt were essential to this analysis, in part because they weren't briefed or they weren't properly before the court. So I don't think that this particular decision to answer Commissioner Doyle's question will have enormous precedential value, if any.
Commissioner Tuttle?
I appreciate that clarification, and I think that's part of why this would be a good time to make this clarification before there is any precedent that's made based on something that's unclear.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments? I guess I would ask you if you are comfortable, are you looking to make a motion, Commissioner Tuttle? If you would do so then, please.
And General Counsel, if you would just correct me if I'm not using the same words that you did. I'd like to make a motion to consult with the Attorney General of potential options regarding filing a letter or a brief.
Can I just ask if your intent would be, after that consultation, to come back and have a commission discussion and vote about whether to do so? You say consult with the Attorney General, it was about, maybe I'm just not understanding your language, if you could do that again, but would there be a subsequent vote in what you're proposing, or would it just be a vote today?
Actually, let me amend the motion, and then let me ask, if you don't mind, for the legal counsel's opinion.
Please. Thank you.
So to consult with the Attorney General on options to file a letter or brief on the narrow scope of our regulatory intent and how it is playing out in practice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with taking, if the commission were to approve that motion, consulting with the Attorney General's office. I think that it might be useful to have a mechanism to come back to the commission on the options that are explored.
Go ahead, Commissioner McBride.
I would definitely want for there to be a further discussion of what the options are and if the commission were going to proceed with a particular option. Because my feeling on this is that I think this is consistent with the comments to this point, that this be very limited. So I would ask that be the process, that whatever options are available, that you come back and present them to us so that we can deliberate on them.
So can I ask Commissioner Tuttle to include that language? And go ahead, Commissioner Doyle.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Just want to clarify with General Counsel, we don't have any time constraints with the litigation that would prevent us from waiting until the next meeting, which I think is April.
April, I think it's 4th, whatever, it's first Thursday in April, whenever that is.
So
Well, actually,
Yeah. I
it
thought it was-
is, doesn't say.
Next slide.
That's unfortunate. Oh, no, that's, next slide, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is April 9th.
Okay. Are we okay timing-wise?
I believe we are okay, for lots of reasons, I believe we are okay timing-wise.
So if I could, Commissioner Title, ask you to modify your motion as per the discussion, and please restate your motion.
Motion to, one second,
Okay, take your time.
consult with the Attorney General about potential options regarding filing a letter or a brief on the narrow topic of our regulatory intent and how it is playing out in practice, and come back to the commission for further discussion.
Can I have a second on that motion? Or,
Could I just actually?
Yes, please.
Ask a question? In my head, it's not the intent so much as the actual what the regulations say, and then possibly the host community guidance, submitting that as well.
Municipal equity guidance, or the municipal equity.
Yes, sorry. I don't
The
know
one
why I
that
said host
specifically
community.
contemplates this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, provide them with the information. They may already have it in the administrative record, but I'd just like to make sure.
How about regulatory intent, regulations, how it is playing out in practice, and guidance or other relevant materials?
Yeah, I think that covers it.
so, I'm sorry, I hate to put you in, would you
Yeah.
mind
Of course.
reading the whole thing now? Thank you.
No, I appreciate that. I think it's important for this to be clear. I move to consult with the Attorney General about potential options regarding filing a letter or a brief on the narrow topic of our regulatory intent, regulations, how they're playing out in practice, and guidance or other relevant materials, and come back to the commission for further discussion.
Thank you. Any further discussion before I ask for a second on that motion? Could I have a second on that motion, please?
Second.
Let the record show that Commissioner Title made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Doyle. All in favor?
Aye.
So that was unanimous. Thank you. So let the record show that the commission unanimously approved the motion. Thank you very much, Commissioner Title, and remaining commissioners. I am not aware of, I am aware. Commissioner Doyle, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a energy public service announcement. I want to announce that the Energy Extension Request Form and the Energy Extension Survey Worksheet are now available online. Thank you again to all those who helped create the survey, including our friends at the Executive Office of Environmental Affairs, the Department of Energy Resources, the Department of Environmental Protection, the Department of Agricultural Resources, and local utilities. If you go to our public resources link and look in forms and templates, you will see both forms there. The Energy Extension Survey Worksheet is not the survey itself. Don't fill it out and send it to us. It is text to show eligible licensees, which are the legacy operators who have already received their final licenses as of November 1st, 2019, what information will be asked in the survey if they are approved for an extension from the compliance deadline, so they can evaluate whether or not they wish to seek an extension and participate in the survey. I would also like to invite applicants and licensees that have questions regarding the energy and environmental regulations, the compiled energy and environmental guidance, or the energy extension survey itself to submit questions, because we are developing a rolling FAQ to help find where people are having any confusion and try to resolve it. So again, thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very
Chairman.
much, Commissioner Doyle. I have just a couple of announcements, and then I think we will adjourn. Let me start by announcing that we are going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony for our new offices in Worcester. So let me just read text on this. Join the commission, Worcester City Councilor Toomey and City Manager Augustus, for a ribbon cutting ceremony to recognize the opening of commission headquarters. The ribbon cutting will be hosted next week, Thursday, February 27th. Excuse me, March 10th.
So,
Pardon? March 12th. What? Oh, God, I can't even read anymore. March 12th at 10 a.m. in our offices in Union Station. Registration details will be provided on our website, social media, and by email. Space is limited. Registration will be granted on a first-come, first-served basis. So thank you for that. Our next public meeting is April 9th at 10 a.m. here in Union Station. Just a couple of other comments before we adjourn. Today, or this month represents a milestone that probably matters to nobody but me, but March 1st was the halfway point of my 5-year term as chairman of the commission, and it's kind of amazing that 2.5 years has gone by so quickly. It's kind of amazing that there's still 2.5 years to go in my first term. But I just wanted to pause and just, again, thank the commission, thank our executive director, thank our staff for what I think is just an amazing amount of work and something I'm very proud of in terms of how we've stood up this industry thus far. So I just wanted to acknowledge the contributions and the support and the involvement of everybody on the staff and the commission. As I said, it might not be a milestone that matters to anybody but me, but it just seemed like an important milestone. I also wanted to thank the legislature for approving our supplemental appropriations request. I want to thank the Joint Policy Committee for continuing to support our efforts to make this industry look like we all want it to look like. So I wanted to just pass along thanks for that and that support. And there being no further business before the commission, we are adjourned as of 12:20.
We need a motion.
Pardon?
Chairman, I move that we adjourn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting I can't do this by myself. Can I have a motion, please, to adjourn?
Sure.
Commissioner Flanagan, thank you. Can I have a second, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 12:21 on March 5th. Thank you very much.